Hey guys, welcome, and let me take a moment of your time to introduce you to two great lines of subwoofers and two great products, Canis Sounds and the Electra brand. So I've had the privilege of working with this brand and building some enclosures, doing some competition, and I've been very enthused so far. All the products has outshone, all my customers love it. I've had numerous customers mention that this is the loudest systems they've heard. These are the best bass. In fact, I had one customer that he's on his fourth system with me, and he said this, using the Electra brand, is the first time he's ever had to turn his subs down because there's just too much bass. So that's a great thing to hear from a brand that develops a lot of quality and a lot of value, but also saves you some money in the pocketbook, being based around very aggressive pricing to help get the brand out there and in Western Canada so we can get the product growing. We've made some provisions to make it a little bit more affordable for customers to get into. So the main two lines is this is the SWB, the second generation SW woofers, and this is the reference line. Now the reference line is still in its original form, but that being said, proven technology sometimes doesn't need to be improved upon. So this is a product that has proven itself in the competition lanes, in daily driving. We've had multiple customers that have played these woofers at their full power handling, rated power handling for 12, 14 hours at a time and having zero failures. So it's definitely a product that's built to withstand the harsh Canadian climates that we have, and there's a few features that we'll touch on. So there's some great technology that flows from both of them, making them part of a family, because like every family, even if you've got a big brother, the little brother still shares some of the good features. So we've got stitched surround on both of these, stitched tints leads on all the woofers, including the 6.5, which is a great thing to see. Double stack magnets, both of the lines, they feature copper coils and supercharged magnets. So you're getting great magnet control, great electronic control, and you're getting quality built product, non-pressed paper cones. So you're getting a nice natural sound. It helps with the cost and the overall production, but it's really hard to beat the sound of a paper cone woofer. It's going to be a lasting design with the stitched surround. You're not going to have mechanical failures. Bolted down spiders in the reference line, which is a major failure in large subwoofers in the Canadian cold, is that it's a failure point. You see the epoxy bond break along the basket, and that's something that can't happen if you have a physical fastener. It's just an extra layer of insurance, proving that some of these were thought through and built to last. Like if a product is built with the care and intention that this product has, it's going to last, and you're always going to get your money's worth. So the SW features a 6.5, an 8, a 10, and 12. The 6.5 and 8 are very valuable SKUs nowadays because we're seeing lots of pickup trucks with multiple drivers, 6.5s under the seat, 4 6.5s under the seat, and believe it or not, these 6.5s actually produce real bass. It's not a compromise, it's just properly designed. It's going to sound the way it needs to sound in a pickup truck. Now, that being said, the 8 and the 10 also shine in those small underseat locations with the right enclosure that we're building here in-house. A lot of our customers can still have a great 1,000-watt subwoofer, 1,000-watt plus subwoofer under the seat of where you normally struggle to get 200-watt subs. And with not having the compromises that a lot of shallow subwoofers bring, you're still getting all the build and proper sound of a full body subwoofer, but it's able to fit in some of those difficult locations. So a couple things about the SW line. The SW line has a double stack Y35 thick magnet. We're looking at a lower FS, ranges from 42 down to 37 throughout the line. Now the main point is we're 9 mils X max across the line, except for the 6.5 is 8.5 mils. So we're having very similar performance, but right sub for the right application. Very clean, tight bass. I have a pair of the 10s in my car, and so far the reception is everyone is very impressed. They actually can't believe it's only 2 10s, and that the performance is there, and it's a very clean, crisp bass that that a lot of people are after. This depends on your musical taste, what the best woofer is for you. But that being said, we're able to design a lot of our prefabricated underseat enclosures with the 8s and the 10s, and even the not a shallow chassis, but a reasonable chassis for the 12 Actually, some of the pickup trucks will be able to benefit. If you like the sound of a 12, we can still get that 12 under the seat of several of the major manufacturers. So I guess the biggest thing is price point, 144 to 198 across the line. Very affordable. It's a lot of sound for that kind of money. Recently I just competed, did 141 with a pair of 10s. That's a lot of bass for just a pair of 10s. And when you look at pairing it with an Electra amplifier, you're under that $700 mark plus the cost of the enclosure depending on the vehicle to get in the low to mid 40s. That's a very affordable amount, and also you can play it to its full potential without having to worry about it failing prematurely. High temperature glue hold the voice coil together, and like I stated before, stitched tinch lead, so you're not going to have wear points on the back of the cone or at high volumes. Some woofers out there, even high-end manufacturers, some of the top manufacturers on their entry-level product, they don't stitch those tinch leads, and it results in rattling as the cone breaks in. It gets a little softer. You can get those unnecessary, unwanted rattles on the back of the cone at higher volumes. So that's something you don't have to worry about. Now with the reference line, you're dealing with higher X-Max, much higher power handling, much lower FSs across the brand. So you're going to get more of a linear, lower extension. You're going to be able to play some of those low notes. So a lot of modern music, hip hop, dubstep, electronic based music, they all have very low synthesized bass, down into even as low as the 20, something we never saw 5 or 10 years ago. And so it's important to have a woofer that, if that's the type of music you're into, that you have the woofer that can take those low notes and not mechanically uncouple. So as these start to play low, you don't get the mechanical sounds of a failing woofer like some other woofers. So that's really important. The RMS power handling is a very fair rating. Not that we're saying overdrive them, but if it says 1,000 watts, we actually mean 1,000 watts to the woofer. So that means that you can buy the right amplifier and the right woofer within the Electra brand, that the amplifiers are rated at least power handling. So if it says 800, it makes over 800. If it says 1,200, it makes over 1,200. Sometimes 10 or 15%. That being said, all the woofers will pair up to those amplifiers in their respective amounts, so that you can reasonably make the right choice and pick the right woofer with the right amplifier without being concerned of overpowering. So now the Electra line does have some added benefits. The 10 and the 8, like I said, do go in small enclosures. The 12 and the 15 are more for larger enclosures. 15 more for your SUVs or for guys who are looking for low extension. The 10 and the 12 and the 15, also a great choice for competitors. High efficiency coming from that lightweight paper cone, but with the good coil and the ability for it to take the power. That's really important. That if you have a nice lightweight cone and good power handling and a well-built coil, then you're going to have the efficiency added with power handling that's going to make for a very loud subwoofer. The Electra brand has been proven already in the lanes this year, outperforming many other systems with less power, and so it definitely proves itself in the competitive lane, which is important because if it can survive the competitions, then that on your daily driver it's going to keep up and be a woofer that you can have for years to come and not worry about failures. Especially in Alberta and in Western Canada, we do a lot of driving here. We're far apart from everything. So if you're the type of person that lives in your vehicle and you're either driving to rig leases or you're couriering or you're hot shotting and you're needing a woofer that can perform for 10 or 12 hours at a time without worrying about overheating, that's a really important thing that these woofers really shine on. So really excited to bring the line together. I'm very proud to be chosen to help build the enclosures. For those of you who know me, you know that the enclosures, this is an example here. This is what the front of our Tier 1 and Tier 2 enclosures will look like. Nice lighting, nice logos, allow for customization too. So you can contact us at Last Resort Fabrication here in Red Deer. Reach out to us on social media or Google us. We'll be glad to help you out on your journey to finding the right enclosure and the right design for your vehicle.